Howdy folks, well, got off work and ran back home and decided, well, I had to go drop off all the powder coat to the powder coaters, and I sold my bed. So, and then funny enough, the same guy that bought my bed is gonna buy the chassis that is slowly moving into the center of the yard. So it's definitely not making any cool points at home with this thing just meandering around in the backyard. But anyway, I decided while I'm waiting and fiasco with the turbos and the fact that I can't really work on any of that stuff until I get the transmission back, which isn't gonna hit the transmission place until tomorrow. So I'm about 2 weeks out from seeing that thing again, which is a lot of time, so we can get a whole bunch done. So I decided to just move into the chassis harness. So here, let me turn this around. What I've done is I've started at the front, and these are the connectors off the ECU, and they simply unbolt, or I guess you just pull them out with that special tool. See, I got one of these. I bought them from Amazon. You use them for the door cards and all that stuff. I was using a screwdriver. If you're cheap like me, sorry about the noise in the background, but we're having that fence put in. So definitely get one of these. It made this task super easy. Anyway, so there, I just pulled it all the way through. There's that one connector down there, the charcoal canister needs to come off. There's a couple grounds that need to get unbolted, like this one right here. But I've got this all the way out, all the way disconnected, and then there's the back, and that's it. So that's the whole harness minus the one I showed you the other day, or yesterday, which was this one, which is the one for the steering, which I can go ahead and put that in. And then there's this one additional one right here that I believe is the speed sensor harness. Yeah. And then one other thing, don't forget to pull the ABS, or not, sorry, airbag sensors off both sides. I need to make sure I pull those off. Yeah, I think. And then then on the transmission side, this is the transmission side, this will need to come off as well, and that just bolts, bolts up here to the firewall. So yep, that's it. So we're moving right along at lightning speed. So I'm gonna go ahead, what I'm gonna do right now, and I'm gonna roll this up and basically sit down on my butt in the driveway and scrub this entire harness so we can put it back in. So I'm going to do that right now, let that dry, and then while that's drying, I'm going to go put the fuel tank in. I finally figured out, with some help from Factory 5, exactly how that thing's supposed to go in. I've taken the aluminum out of the bed so that I can get into that. So when I get ready to do that, I'll pre-brief that, do the work, maybe do a time lapse on that. That doesn't seem too difficult to do, and then call it done. So stand by for the update. See you in a second. Alright folks, well, the after work activities are all done. So we didn't, like, if you recall, I was supposed to do, and I had the plan to do the gas tank, and doing the turbos kind of got me behind, or not doing the turbos got me behind. So I went ahead and did the gas tank. A couple things I realized, since we're still working through the directions, you got to take the metal protective shield off the side of it, since it's not mounted next to the drive shaft anymore, and then the bottom protection cover that's there. So since it's at the back of the truck and it's basically wrapped by the chassis, it should be just fine. It's super high. Yeah, so let me show that to you, and then while I was doing that, I was kind of looking at the wiring, and basically the wiring is done. I just got to get there's one more harness, two more harnesses off the chassis, but the front and the back of the car are now connected. So let me show you what I did. So I hooked, this is the front rear harness connection, and then I think there's one, I think up in here, yeah, right here, and I still got to clean all this up, and I haven't even like properly secured it, but basically I think it goes, and if this isn't supposed to go here, I can wrap it on this side, but it should be okay. This will all get, you know, zip tied or secured or however, you know, up here, so really won't be in the way. Suspension's going to be out here anyway. Then it comes down here on the inside of the frame rail, and well, you might be able to see in this light. We'll see. Yeah. So it goes down this triangle, and what's going to happen is this is going to end up tucked up in there. So it definitely will not, you know, be damaged by anything. It'd have to get through this massive tube. And then towards the back, I don't think I'll be able to show you all the wiring since it's so dark down here. We can try for a second. I didn't do a dry run on this to see, maybe. I'm not, you might be able to see that, but basically the wiring comes back up through here. This is the factory 5 extension harness for the fuel sender. So that makes the distance, and then here's the fuel pump, but I'm not going to use that. I've got a full E85 1500 horsepower 4 triple pump setup. I'm not sure that I need to use any of that because it comes with its own stuff. And then I've got a bracket up here, a component that I need to secure. There's a bracket that I guess puts it right here, and then hopefully you do all this tight quarter here, and then all this I'm pretty sure gets just secured up to the frame here as high as we can possibly get it, and it goes over the fuel tank. And let me show you the fuel tank. So it uses all the factory straps and everything, and still I just put the wires up on top, but you know, basically I think that's correct. I'm noting that I guess that's the trailer hitch connector seems short to me right now. I'm not sure if it goes under the tank, then we're in business. If it goes over the tank, then it might be short. I'm not sure. I'll have to ask which side that goes on, and I don't have the bumper yet to verify. And then I even still retain the tailgate lighting. So at some point, you know, I'll cut a hole right in here somewhere, and then that light will be mounted, as well as the switch to control it. So it may not be in the factory location. I might just have them side by side. You know, this here and then this here and the light there, or something like that. And then still looking down in here. Yeah. So this is all set. You go a little bit further out so you can see it maybe. It's rocking. So fuel line's next. Actually, brake line's next. We're gonna wait from the fuel line. So yeah, I'm gonna do. Sorry, we're gonna do the brake lines next. I've got to get the ABS module off, and it gets mounted right here, and then we just run the hard hard brake lines basically through the same spot. I'm guessing it's going to go down this on the inside of this, then on this side, and then down straight through, and then just follow that same protected area. Very close to the OEM installation, since those two are paired together. I did remove all the little clips that clip the wiring to the frame. Just remove those, and then I washed the entire wiring harness, so it was kind of nasty. Made sure I stayed away from the connectors, and then blew them dry anyway afterwards. But yeah, that's it. Ran out of time for the day. That was about 2 hours or whatever. Just got home from work, did all that, had a plan. Tomorrow I've got a small list, so I know what I'm doing in the morning or afternoon when I get back, hopefully. We'll see what time I get home. Oh, and then all the powder coat stuff got dropped off, so I should be putting rear suspension in this weekend. Yeah, hopefully pretty close having the back on the ground. So we'll see. Stay tuned. We'll hit it hard again tomorrow. Talk to you later.